Hello
Action.
everyone. Dylan. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Before Bed podcast. I'm Dem,
And I'm Dylan.
and today we're gonna be talking about just some general life stuff, just stuff that's we've been dealing with, stuff that is just on our mind. Yeah. Today's the today's the get to know us episode, I
It's gonna be
guess.
yeah, it's gonna be a little different from last episode. Today is a little more laid back. I'm not feeling the best, so I won't be as vocal.
You said you wanted to talk about university.
I do a little bit. I don't know. My university process is a little
Or
um
sorry, college.
yeah, you're literally starting like whenever like you were finishing high school, you literally had me saying used to
Yeah, grade 12, sorry.
yeah. But you literally got me started saying like grade 12, year 1. I literally sound like I'm from
Really?
Canada now because I call college university now. So I guess you rubbed off on me a
Is it
lot.
I think to me, like year one and grade 12 makes so much more sense to me than senior and like what
Well, because
that
in
doesn't make sense.
America, high school is like it's such a different experience from the first 8 years of school. It's such a the culture attitude towards high school is so much different than middle and elementary school. Because that's part of, I guess that is that a part of American culture or white culture is high school, like sports and stuff like that, and like pep
I guess white
rallies and
culture because
yeah, we don't have
I don't
much,
know. The
you know. We don't got much. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, our culture is just taking others' cultures.
Let's not get into that. That's another
That's
topic.
another for another day. Um,
Anyways, what's going on with you at
wow, I forgot that I
college?
was. Yeah, whoops. Uh, I'm sorry. You give me the chance to
Oh
shit on
god.
white people and white culture, and I'll take it. Um, but anyways, college, yeah, it's been annoying because I found out that my meal plan went up by $400 this year. Last year it
Ooh.
was 2050 something for per semester for a meal plan that's required, by the way. Um and this year they went up to 2448. Um and that's one of the cheaper options. There's like 6 options, and that's like the second to cheapest option. And thankfully, I'm only going for 6 months because I start in the spring semester. But like, it's just been so annoying because I'm seeing all these like emails and stuff for like fall semester, and like people they're like getting into there, but I can't do anything for that because I'm in spring
Ooh.
semester and I have to wait until October or September to do anything. So I'm just sitting here for 3 months doing nothing. Which is like really
Damn.
fucked with like my mental state a lot because like I really just want to go to college. That's all I want to do right now is just go to college, but I can't. And I can't even like go to orientation. I can't buy my meal plan. I can't pick out my dorms. I can't do anything. I can't even fill out my loan application yet. I don't get my loan applications until October. I can't even buy a parking pass. I can't do anything. Everything's blocked off. I can't even accept my financial aid offer until September, October. They keep sending me
Jeez.
emails to accept it, but every time I go to the website, the button to like accept it is grayed out. And when I emailed them about it, they said, "Oh, well, um you can't accept it until later after we get your loan application." Like, what the fuck? So, it's just been really annoying. That's just also been freaking me out because my whole because I can't afford college like at all. Like cuz I have to live on campus. I don't have a choice, which is super expensive. So, I have to I'm literally banking on the 6 months that I am there. I have to get my GPA up high enough to where I can qualify the um for the scholarships that are there. So, because if I don't, I'm gonna have to go like semester by semester. Like I won't be able to. I'll probably have to take the school like my degree semester by semester because I won't be able to do a full year, which sucks. If they even let me do that. So it's just been a lot. So, but that's just thinking.
Yeah.
That's thinking so far into the future. Like, but like I don't know. I don't care what the hell my therapist says. Okay, I like to think about my future, and maybe I am predicting the future, and maybe that is my downfall. But you know what? I like thinking about all the
I'll say that.
possibilities. Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's just the pessimism in us, disguising itself as something else. So, which
That was kind of poetic. Whoa. We'll get into that later.
uh, but you can't relate in the slightest because you're Canadian. Your school is so much cheaper.
Sorry guys, my tuition yearly is 8,000.
Did you even pull out any
So
loans, or was it
I
just straight?
did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Did your parents? I don't
I'm
think your parents
solely
had any saved up for you, did
they had
they?
savings.
Oh.
They did. They do, but we took it out so that cuz like the thing is I still all obviously I still rely on my parents, but they use the savings just for like my basic necessities,
Mm-hmm.
like, providing me food,
Oh, so
paying
they
my rent,
do.
la da
So
da.
that's not for college. It's for like you're maintaining yourself while you're in college.
While in my yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
That makes
yes.
sense.
Yes,
Didn't
I
I?
skipped over that.
Damn. Fuck you.
Sorry,
I
no,
meant to say
I really
P's
didn't
when
see
I
that.
said therapy.
Damn, I'm
uh,
sorry.
but yeah, I'm ending therapy soon. I have 2 more sessions after this, and I won't be able to go back the rest of this year. And I won't be able to start next year because of my college. So I'll be out of therapy until next summer at least. So I've been going for 8 months now, which is crazy. It does not felt like 8 months at all. I've been going since October or the end of yeah, no, since October. And my last session was on my birthday last year, and I took a month break. So it's been it's been a weird 8 months, honestly. I had a pretty rough start to the year, dealing with a lot of personal shit with my mom and just not knowing what I wanted to do. And then my job at the time was horrendous. I hated my job. Then I got injured, um, and I just felt lost. So I quit my job back in April. So it's been almost 2 months I've been unemployed, which has been a rough um it's been a rough time, honestly. But back to therapy, I don't know. I feel like um because you haven't been to like an actual therapist in a long time or at all, right? I think you've been to a therapist at least once, right? I can't remember.
Once, but it was a really weird experience. I don't really count it. Um,
Because my philosophy is everybody, no matter how sane or well put together you think you are, everyone deserves to go to therapy. Everyone deserves to have the privilege to go to therapy, at least once. Um,
mm,
and
I think,
because uh, I don't know,
sorry, no. I don't
therapy
oppose you.
therapy just it opens your eyes to things that genuinely could never you genuinely could not see yourself in the way that a therapist, a trained professional, does. Therapy is so helpful, and especially the people like me who don't know how to get their emotions out. Yeah, it's it's really nice. I've been going to therapy for on and off for about 3 years now. I think this month's about 3 years. I took a big break back between 2021 and 2022. Um, so yeah, I mean, I haven't really gone through that much in the past year and a half. But it just a lot of things that personally I wanted to work on, I wouldn't be able to do if it wasn't for my therapist. A lot of personal upcomings or something like that. I don't know, but um, I'm a completely different person to what I was to 2 years ago, honestly. And I only have therapy to think of that. And to think that I'm not going to go back for a long time is a little scary to me, honestly. I still have a couple things I want to work on, but I feel like I have the tools. I just need to utilize them more. I've been taking therapy for granted this past couple months. I've been using it more of a crutch rather than um, something that I know is going to end. And I really need to start utilizing it more. And I'm gonna have to since I won't be going back for a while. And it's just been hard to something. It's been hard to cope with. Um,
Well, I mean, that's your personal journey. I was gonna make a comment on what you said earlier about everyone needing it, and I do agree. It's just that I have kind of this fear because my last therapist kind of made me feel like I what I was going through wasn't worthy of therapy. I don't know. That's the vibe that I got, so I was like, whatever. I think also at the time it didn't help that I didn't really know what to talk about. Also, it was weird because it was always over the phone and it was always at a time that I um
ooh, girl,
was uncomfortable. So I didn't and like whenever I got the
was it a
call,
man?
a girl.
Oh, okay.
But whenever I got the call, it was always I was never prepared, so I was just like, oh, you know.
Yeah,
It was a really strange arrangement for me,
yeah.
and the things that I talked about didn't correlate to um what I had been going through beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it just didn't work. I think that I got through it though, like whatever was going through. I had told you that like before I'd met you, I was going through like the roughest, like the lowest. I felt like I was at the lowest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I felt like I needed help, but at this like I I already the moment that I figured out that I needed help, I kind of started understanding what like I needed in my life to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that therapy was like an extra step, but at that the moment that therapy had already been organized for me, I kind of felt like I was getting my life back together, you know? So it didn't work.
Yeah, I
It didn't
mean,
work properly.
the thing is that therapy is obviously different for everybody, and people react to different types of therapy in different ways. Um, the second to worst experience I've had with therapy, was when I did telehealth, which is Zoom calls. That
But
was it was horrible. Um, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but there's just when it comes to therapy, body language and just environment is a huge part of the overall um, process of therapy. And for me personally, if I'm going to talk about my emotions that deep and um, that thorough, I'm going to need to be in front of a person so I can see them. Um, and I need to be in an environment where I feel completely safe. And I mean, not that I didn't feel safe in my home, it's just I didn't feel comfortable being in the same house as my mom, who I was mostly having problems with at the time when I was doing telehealth. I wasn't comfortable with the thought of her, listening in or something like that. So, um, I feel like there's also kind of a stigma around therapy where people have one bad experience and then just relate that to all future endeavors into therapy, which is so sad because I've had two bad experiences with therapy, but that didn't stop me because I know that I didn't have any other way to get help other than therapy. I don't know. I feel like everyone has something to work on, and no matter what it is, and that sucks that your therapist kind of made you feel like that or told you that. I can't remember what you said, but um,
They
th-
didn't tell me that specifically, but the way that like I honestly I don't really blame it on the therapist. I did at the time, but I looking back now, I didn't. I really shouldn't have because my it was on like I said, it was on phone call, and it really just caught me by surprise every time she called. Even though she did warn me, she warned me like she not warned, but like she let me know ahead of time that she was gonna call. But either way, it still like caught me off guard because I don't know,
yeah.
and I always did it at home, so I felt like my parents were also
Oh,
like kind
okay,
of
yeah.
overhearing, and I love
Mm-hmm.
them all so much, but there are some things that I want to keep to myself.
Yeah. How old were you when this
Um,
happened?
16.
Oh, Jesus,
Um,
girl.
yeah. My parents like definitely supported me through and through. They saw that I was struggling and um you know, helping me out, very loving, very supportive. Um and I have a certain understanding of my patterns, my habits, and just like who I am. I'm very I like to pride myself in this, but I think I'm self-aware.
Yeah.
I know when things are coming or know when those types of feelings are coming up, and I know what I need to kind of deal with it. Um, so I just kind of did it by myself.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then I realized so I didn't know what made me because I was it was like on this I was kind of like feeling like this depression was coming over me. I didn't know what it was. And then I made it worse. And then I realized that oh, I shouldn't have isolated myself. That made it worse. I thought it was gonna make me better. Um,
Yeah.
but then obviously I realized that isolation wasn't the best, so I stopped doing that. And then I felt better. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Mental illness is weird, and the way that I dealt with it is probably, I don't know. I don't
That
know. Like,
doesn't
I don't know if it
doesn't
was weird or
sound the
normal.
healthiest, but I think it's the best you could have done with the resources you had.
Yeah. And
Because
also,
yeah.
yeah, and like, yeah, and just that was the moment that I kind of started figuring out like how to feel happier, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the timing with the therapy sessions and how I felt in the moment, it wasn't the right timing, you know? So I kind of just
Yeah.
felt like, okay, I feel like this is useless now. So I just kind of lied and I was like, you know what? Well, not really. I just told her that I have stuff to look forward to now. Like I'm good and I don't really care anymore. And she was like, okay, see ya. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a little bit have a couple quarrels with all that you just said.
And go for it.
I don't know. I feel like because what you just said reminded me of exactly how I felt before I started therapy again last year
Mm,
around February, I think it was last year. That's exactly how I felt. I thought I could deal with it on my own. I thought I had gotten better on my own. um, and then I went to therapy, and within 4 sessions, um, I felt like everything that I had thought I had done well or thought I had done made me realize that I was quite literally just masking all of that, um,
mm,
and that I wasn't actually doing anything productive. I was just covering them up, and just pretending, subconsciously pretending like everything was okay, um, and
mm,
tricking myself into thinking that I was healing, but in reality, I was actually forcing myself into a deeper hole that would have come back around to bite me in the ass eventually if I didn't go to therapy. It's
yeah.
almost exactly what my therapist told me, and I
Damn.
believe her 100%. So if I had dealt with that by myself, I think I don't think I would have survived that, honestly. Genuinely.
Yeah. We got into like that therapy thing so like that was so real.
I know
That kind of
therapy
I don't
is
know,
such a sacred, not sacred, it's such a
sacred.
it's such a important part to my personality and to my journey as a person, into my
Development.
trauma, and into my development as a young adult, that it's just something that I can't ignore, and I refuse not to
Yeah.
ignore. And I don't care if I make it my personality. I want to make it known that I have came this far, and therapy was the reason that I have. There's genuinely
Mm-hmm.
nothing. I mean, there's small things, but therapy is the biggest reason for the person who I am today and where I am today. I mean, if it wasn't for therapy, I never would have found my passions for what I wanted to do. Um, yeah, I wouldn't have changed my relationship patterns. I wouldn't have changed my relationships to certain people, stuff like that. So, it's
Yeah.
speaking of
Um,
books.
shut the hell up.
Uh,
Speaking of books. Yeah, the way that I write, at least I like I said, I do get a little technical about it. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that I learned or taught myself or whatever. But yeah, I've been like I get super technical about it. I'm still unsure of what my writing style is. I really want to figure that out soon. Maybe I'll have some practice writing or something. But right now, I'm trying to write this book. Ooh, stop! You cringe. I'm kidding. But I don't remember when I started thinking about this.
I
I
do.
think
I do.
when
Because you kicked me
when
off of the project.
yeah. Okay, I'm just saying that it's changed so much ever since I kicked you out. But okay, I don't remember the specific order, but um I remember thinking up of basically an idea, and I wanted to make the idea that I wanted to make my own like world, basically like a fantasy world, because I remember watching Lord of the Rings and like binging it with my friends in grade 12, and we had like I don't know if I told you, but like there was a person who had a movie theater in their basement. They were the white one, obviously. but, but yeah, and we binged The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and in the entire series, there like not one white person exist or not one person of color existed.
Racism.
And like it pissed me off because like I look at my friend group in grade 12 and there was two white people. And then the rest of us were from different countries and different like ethnicities. I was like, I feel like that's a little unrealistic. I don't know, maybe no, because I was gonna say maybe in its time. Like also that was like it's a fantasy story. Like there's dragons and magic. Why can't people of color be friends with other people of color, like whatever? And like go on a magical adventure, I guess. I don't know, it irked me that there wasn't diversity, I guess, and it didn't really I hated that it didn't reflect my life. Maybe that's what it was. But I was like, I wanna make like a I wanna make that, but like, you know, my version. um
Hmm.
and then but I was starting to have that kind of idea, like starting to make worlds and then trying to like brainstorm stuff. And I had a rough idea of what I wanted, and then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna include you in it, you know? Let's
Hmm.
do it. Let's ball. And then we came up with it, and then I kind of started realizing I'm sorry, like I'm sorry that I kicked you out, but like I as we kept working on it, I started realizing that everything we were making was getting so twisted and complicated, and I feel like this I can't make a story out of it anymore because there's so many details that we're putting into it, and it's like and I kind of started getting confused on what I was trying to do really, or
You
like
basically
because I
lost the
wanted
plot.
yeah, we lost the plot, and I was just like, I don't think this makes sense at all, and so I wanted to start over, and you were like, I don't want to start over, I want to keep going, and I was like, no, I feel like
Because
we
I
need to start
had no
over.
faith in you in actually pursuing this. So, farther, because
um,
you always start and stop projects and completely
yeah,
abandon them.
yeah, but I
Which is weird, because whenever you're passionate, whenever she starts talking about something passionately, She is 1000% in. Like, she will convince you to the highest of earth that she is 100% passionate about it. She wants to do it. She needs to do it. This is her whole life. This is what she needs to do for the next 6 months. And then once she gets bored of it, she's like, I really don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I do not want to do this anymore. And that's exactly
Stop.
how she treated this whenever this first happened. She literally gave up like a month in, and she didn't touch it until like I think 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I think, or
Okay,
something
no,
like
it
that.
wasn't that. No, let me tell my part of my story, my journey. Um, but I feel like I don't know. This one's different. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. But basically, I felt like we lost the plot. I felt like we were going nowhere, and I feel like we felt like we had to start over. But and I don't know. It's just because to me, I felt like doing this and writing a story solely to spite another wasn't something that should be like I don't think it was a good enough reason to keep going basically. And so I
Mm-hmm.
stopped it for a second and I obviously focused on school. I kicked you out because I didn't think that, I liked some of your ideas and I do keep some of like one of them at least in here, which is
Coming for
actually
those
like kind of a
royalties.
major shut the hell up. Um like it is it's kind of I kind of made it into a kind of a big plot point. I don't know if I want to keep it actually. I don't know. Maybe. I'm still thinking about that part. But
I miss my adventurous
basically
food.
stop.
What
Um
did they call it? There was a word for it. I can't remember.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I'm sorry, but the idea we had, even though it wasn't what you wanted, it was a good idea. It had a
It
lot
was
of.
good. That's why I keep it.
I know, but I felt like what it could have turned into was not just a book. It could have just been. I don't know what you would call it, but like just a project, I should say. Honestly, I feel like it could have just
But
been like
that's
a
so vague.
project.
That's so
Vague.
vague.
That's
I don't
so
know.
vague.
Shut the hell
That
up.
is
It's my
so
Canadian accent
vague. What are
coming
you
through.
talking about? Like a boo.
Shut up.
That is so vague. What are you talking about?
Ew. I just focused on school. I thought that I still want to do something with this, but I want to stop for now because I had other things that I wanted to think about first. But I had like a little story that I kept in my mind. Because like every time before I go to bed, I always have a story that I need to think about before I go to sleep. It's my whole thing. It's my routine. But I had a story in my head whenever I thought about that world, but I didn't think about it too much.
What?
Okay, are you done? Like,
Just the way you said vague. It's just.
okay, just gonna let you go through this.
You big. You keep ducking now. My cheeks hurt.
Thank you, you weirdo. Damn. Anyways, I had that story kind of like in my head for a little bit, but it wasn't anything big. Um, but towards the end of like my second semester, I started thinking, oh, wait, no, it was, yeah. I watched The Hobbit with my parents, with my mom and my brother. And then I love, oh, wait, no, not The Hobbit. It was The Lord of the Rings. I just watched it with them again. And then I just, I don't know, I had this hit of inspiration. I saw like the little friend group that they had with the, Fellowship of the Ring or whatever. Um, and And I think it was also because my brother kept talking about his friends and how they were making their own little film project, and I thought it was so cute and adorable, like teenage boys being teenage boys. Um, and then I was like, wait a minute, I don't know. I started connecting the dots, and I was like, what if like I take that story and basically make it so that my younger brother and his friends go through it, basically. And that's when everything kind of started like getting together, putting like I don't know puzzles started fitting together and I started kind of getting inspired again. And I took that world that we made and I changed a lot of it. I changed everything. It took a while to really make sense of what I was writing, but I just throughout my second, like towards the end of my second sem, I just kept working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had to start over again twice because there were just some things that weren't adding up. Um, up until now, which is because like as through the month of May, I've been really trying my best to think about it, and there I couldn't because I was just stuck on a specific place. I it was mostly just because I had my plot points, I had the important actions written down. I just didn't know how to connect them because it was so stupid. But
Right.
I kind of forced myself to like just sit down and think about it one night, and then I was just like, you know what, yeah. And then I started plotting the entire book, and then now I'm done plotting it all, and now I'm just trying to make sense of my scribbles and my I don't know whatever the hell I wrote, and I'm trying to make it all make sense and connect. And I'm basically so close to starting my first draft, and I'm so excited.
Good for you.
But yeah,
Whew, I didn't even mean to yawn there, but I guess it kind of fits. But thank you for listening today. I know this one's been more of a heavy hitter, and I guess, in a way. Um, um, I hope you got to know a little bit more about us, mainly me, because I was the biggest yapper this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, please subscribe, like our videos, please. It would mean the world. Love. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Twitter/X if you want to. We'll not be posting on there anymore. And Spotify has now been omitted from our lineup as well. So Instagram and TikTok are our main ones these days. So thank you.
yeah. I hope you guys had a wonderful time getting to know us. Have a good night.
All right. You guys have a great night, and we will see you in the next episode next week.